Welcome to part 2 of my interview with Chaz Wilson, founder of Wilson Leadership Academy and Master Networks. Chaz is here to share with you some of the tools that he uses to get his business running on autopilot. Hi, I'm Emily LaRouche. Are you ready to make the journey from lawyer to entrepreneur? Every week I'm sitting down with people who have mastered the art of running a business and want to share with you the lessons they've learned along the way. Join me as we experience the highs, the lows, and everything in between as we learn, share, and grow together. Welcome to Share the Love. So Chaz, last episode we talked about how you tackled a giant, you shook up an industry and you started to do new things, but you are so entrepreneurial, and I noticed that you'll find a problem and you'll spawn a new business out of it. So tell me a little bit more about Wilson Leadership.
It's true. It's sort of an addiction, my wife would probably admit or say. We're at 32 businesses right now, and so we use a lot of tools, right? Obviously, I can't do all of it, and when I see a problem that we can solve, then yeah, we'll start a business and make it work. And let me just share a couple of the tools. Number one, I always say your business is your database. So if you don't have a system, a CRM is if someone came into you, and you don't know this today when you start a business or anywhere along the path, you never expect that you may sell your business. You might bring in a partner. You probably don't ever expect those things. The truth of it is when someone comes in and buys your business or buys in, what they're buying is a database. They're buying what you have. And so I use a system called Next Level Suite, NLSUITE.com, nextlevelsuite.com. And the reason why I use it is there's so many out there, but I like it because it's user friendly, it's straightforward. We participated in helping design it because we wanted to use it, but it's super straightforward. And one of the things it has in there is text messaging and email campaigns. And so I have all these automated system campaigns that happen when someone comes in and visits my office. I have a thank you campaign that goes out. And so it takes a little time to set up front, but once they're automated, they're off and running. So that's for sure on the technology piece of leverage, one of the systems that I have in place. The second that I wanted to share, and that you and I have talked a lot about, is what we launched as Wilson Leadership Academy. Our academy was one of the challenges I was having as I was growing and scaling. And again, I might be a one-person or two-person office. It's okay, but when I add that third or fourth person, when business grows, there's so much time to hire and train and onboard people. And I found that I was saying the same things every single time. And then, the game of telephone where they would tell somebody, and next thing you know, I never like that. So what we did is we shot video and we created these training programs for businesses and coaching. So it allows me to leverage people. So when I go do a speaking event, people come up and say, hey, it was great, but how do I get more? Instead of just trading my time for that, now I can put it online and people can watch that. And I can see if they're watching it, they can take tests and all that stuff. So those are two really technology pieces that have streamlined my ability to scale my business.
I found too that my employees will ask me the same things over and over, and eventually I said, that's it, I've had it. We're documenting every procedure. So if someone asks me a question, it's not already documented, it's getting documented. Big time saver.
Let me just touch on that for a second. So I did that for a long time and I documented it, but I documented it on paper. Here's what I realized: no one reads anymore. I mean, heck, that's why when I write a book, I have to do audiobooks, because people want the audiobook, they don't want to read it. YouTube and Facebook went to Google Video, all that stuff's video. And so what I found is when I created this video, that people would, 2-minute video, they would watch it on their phone and they got their training. And it was such an easy way, because now they could actually go home after the interview, watch all the training coming in on their first day, and they've got a pretty basic knowledge of how to run the program.
Awesome. So they can't even say I didn't understand it, because visually they see it, they can hear it, watch it in action. And then did you guys build a studio out that you're doing this for other companies?
Yeah, so that's usually it starts in one and out. Typically when I start something or build something, it's for me. It's very selfish. I build it for me. Like when I wrote a book, I wrote it for our company initially, or the people I serviced, and then it expanded from there. But so we created this training and coaching platform for clients and for my own employees. But then what happened was, again, this is where I try to tune into when people say, ooh, I could use that. I was at dinner with a guy who has a handful of dental offices, and He was saying that he spends 4 out of 5 days a week because they have multiple offices that this ownership group has. And he spends all this time training, and they want to acquire new offices. And so he's spending all this time on the phone talking to the dentist once a week and the hygienists and the front desk staff. And I said, I bet you're having the same conversations every week because that's the problem I was in. And I told him what we did to solve it. And he was like, how can I do that? And just light bulb went off. And I was sitting in my office and I looked over at the conference room and I went, that conference room isn't making me any money. So I literally walked over to one of the other guys. I said, come with me. We pulled the table out of the conference room and pulled the TVs out, or the chair and then the TV out of the room. We pulled it all out. And everyone in the office is going, what are you doing? And I said, I just bought a green screen. I bought cameras. I bought all these lights, and we're going to turn this into a video studio. And so now we have businesses that come in. We help them write their training videos. They shoot the videos, and then we put it in a branded platform for them. And now they can watch and make sure their employees or salespeople are, taking this. And in fact, some of the sales teams coming in, they're now tying the commission in to whether or not the person watched the training video, right? So they might have hit their numbers, but if they didn't go through the training, right, it has some factor into whether they get a full commission or not. So we're having a blast with this, helping businesses scale through training and development.
So we just rolled out something similar within our company where we have our receptionist and we're going to allow them to become level 2, but they can only do that by furthering their legal education and doing that through training. So they can make more money, but it's completely up to them whether or not they want to complete the training.
It's brilliant. I mean, when you put it in their hands, that's just what we've found. We have 14 internal staff, and I have about 85 1099 staff throughout the country. And what we just found was I was spending so much time training on more tactical things and processes. From the moment I put it into video, the reality is that allowed me to scale quicker because now I could spend my time in my calls with them with a more personalized coaching call. Because before it was just tactical and more skill. Now I can focus on their skill. So it's been a huge leverage piece for me.
Awesome. So it keeps you moving forward. What are some other tools that you've used to help grow your business and keep it running? Because I know you are speaking, you're traveling all the time, but the business runs and it's running well. So how are you doing that?
This may not be what you anticipated in this, but I'm just going to tell you the things I just talked about were technology. The second thing is people. And there's lots of little things like Google Calendars we all have. Another one we use is Voxer, Voxer. It's an app on our phone that's like a mobile walkie-talkie. And only my team has access to me there and any of my personal clients that I'm consulting or mentoring. Other than that, no one else. Voxers is what we call it, Voxer.
That's cool.
But it's really cool because like right now I noticed I saw it beeping a little bit, so I've got a couple of Voxer messages, and it's just a real quick way for my team to interact instead of calling me when they know I'm probably busy in appointments and such, and you can text and all that on it. So we use that, but going back to that, it's really people. There's all these little technology pieces, but what I have found, my best financial investment 10 times out of 10 is always in people. People are what helps give me more time with my 5 children, more time with my wife, more time with my other business partners, more time to do what I want to do. And the way that I want to do it has always been people. And so you can leverage with either people or technology or both, but I choose typically most of the time with people, and then we enhance it with technology.
So I think I'm going to go completely off topic here, but I have a question for you. So being a coach, I'm going to ask you a coaching question.
Okay.
One of the things that I firmly believe in as well is you invest in people to run the business on autopilot. And I think I've done a good job of that. But when I find myself not being needed all the time, that's what you dream of as a business owner, right? Is to create something where you don't have to be there 60 hours a week. So when I have a day where I may not be needed, I have a guilty feeling about not being there and working, and then taking that time out to go on a field trip or do something for myself. So have you ever experienced that at all in your businesses?
Yeah, of course. And I mean, I think that part of it is too, just because I'm sure like you, I'm a hardworking, disciplined person. And so it is hard to actually take time off because I love what I do. I know you love what you do. So it's not It's not like, oh, I love that it's Friday because I get the weekend. I'm never in that way. In fact, I'm more like, I can't wait to get back to business and keep growing and impacting lives. But yeah, I mean, I felt that way. So here, I'll give you my advice. Here's the coaching advice on that. It's 2 words. Stop it. I mean, oversimplified, but you have to just tell yourself, it's okay. It's okay. And that's really where a coach and mentor comes into play, is to say, it's okay. If you're taking a day, that's what you built this for. Now, if you're taking days just to avoid the business, that's different. And I do know people who do that. But no, you shouldn't feel guilty at all. That's the whole point. Your business should serve your life.
I completely believe that.
Not you serve the business.
Yes.
The business serve your life.
Absolutely. I thought, I'll dip my toes in the water, take a little bit of time off. And I took one day off and I told my mentor, I did it. I took the day off and I did stuff just for me. And he's like, so what'd you do? I read this great business book. And he's like, no. That's not what you're supposed to be doing.
Well, so I'll tell you, just on my own personal journey, I've had just I used to even teach this, and I've really had a very contradicting, now I've flipped the other way. I used to say that one of my biggest challenges, because I was so busy, was I don't have a lot of what I call white space on my calendar, right? I don't have a lot of free time to just, not have something planned. I mean, even so much so that my wife knows I follow my calendar so religiously that she put, one night I saw a reminder pop up, she put on my Google Calendar, take out the trash. If it got on my calendar, it would probably happen.
She's got to schedule the chores.
Right. But here's the point, is I used to think that I needed more white space. So I worked real hard with my assistant, and we created more time for me to be off. What a mistake. I mean, truthfully, I am at my best when I am just focused and running and helping people and doing all that. So I think there's a balance there, and you have to find it for each person. Some people need more time off than what I think I need. And if that's okay, and so it's okay if you work a lot, if it's feeding your soul, is kind of my thing. And I still, I have great time with my wife and my kids and all that. When I'm with them. But I'm not at one that's like, man, I'm going to take 8 days off every month. I mean, I know business owners that do that. It just doesn't fit me. I just get into too much trouble. I just
Right.
got nothing to.
So for me, on a day off reading a business book, it actually was like super fun. It was rewarding. It was awesome. But my mentor is like, that's not a day off. But maybe that's not a day off to him, but it's a day off to me.
Exactly. No, that was the point I was making. I think you have to do, if you're taking a day off from business, you can still do things that are business related, that, training, education, whatever it is, that sort of build up your soul to come back energized.
Awesome. I love it. Any final words of advice for our viewers on how to grow their law firms?
Well, I just think that no matter what, when it comes to time is what you can't get back, right? And that's, in my book, 5+1, it's the 4th business discipline, is timing. And it's not just time management, it's really protecting your time and not allowing people to waste your time, because there will always be people who will come in to waste your time. And I just test this out next time. Next time someone says to you, Emily, how are things going? Probably your response, I know it has been mine for years, is, man. And it got me thinking of my mindset. Am I busy or am I productive? And if I keep answering busy, I need to really look at what I'm doing and assess every day, was today busy or was it productive? And I have sure shifted a lot of things off my calendar. And if I could go back to when I started, I would have been more on purpose about the things I allowed on my calendar and the things that don't need to be on my calendar. And so I always say, if you show me your calendar, I'll show you how productive you are. And that's the key. So just get really disciplined about your time, who you spend it with, what you do with it. And I think that'll be a good learning lesson as you go forward to build your practice.
I think that's great advice. We have quite a few law firms where they'll do free consultations, and I'll see their calendars, and it's free consult. I mean, time after time, and they're hour long. So to your point, maybe getting smart about your time is you don't have to stop the free consults, but maybe they're 15 minutes, so that you start to leverage your time on things that'll cause you to be more productive and move the needle.
That's right. And then, of course, as you do more of those, you hopefully get better at signing them as clients, right? So your conversion rate goes up over time. But yeah, you just got to be really disciplined. I think the other aspect to that too is like, for me, I am done they're no later than 5:30 every night. There is no late nights at my office. It just doesn't happen, and it creates a balance in my life. It creates, an expectation. My kids know when I'm going to be home. They know Dad will be home, depending on traffic, but there's a 15-minute window pretty much that I'm home every night that I'm not traveling.
So I think that'd be a good activity, is just to sit down and create your time boundaries. What am I not willing to do? What are my boundaries? When do I need to be home? And that's it. And you put the line in the sand.
That's one of the courses I teach in the academy. It's all about the timing discipline and how to protect your time and how to use your time wisely and all that stuff, and some of the mistakes I've made and the lessons I've learned. And so time is just something you can't get back, so you better protect it.
Absolutely. Well, Chaz, I could talk to you for hours and hours. You have so much information to share, but you've been traveling all day, so I'm going to let you go. But I do want to play a quick game of first thing that comes to your mind. Your favorite thing to do when you're not working?
Coach my kids' sports.
Awesome. Favorite sports?
Football.
All right. What is the most recent book you've read?
The most recent book I read is 7 Levels of Communication from Michael Mayer, which just so happens I'm having dinner with him tonight, so I'm super excited. But it's a phenomenal book. He is speaking at our national convention called Connect, and I wanted to read his book, or that's why he's speaking, because I read his book. It's amazing, so I would encourage you to go read that book.
Awesome. Well, when's Connect, while we're on that topic?
It is April 27th and 28th in Plano, Texas. It is open to any entrepreneur. It's entrepreneurs from all over the country come together for 2 days for roles, keynote speakers, business education. It's truly a phenomenal event. So you can go to attend-connect.com to get tickets.
Awesome. I attended and I took a friend, and it was a blast. We had a fantastic time. The education was great. I'm still implementing some of the things that I learned. So check it out. Connect is a great event. Chaz, where can our viewers find you?
So you can go to my website, chazwilson.com, CHASWILSON.com. Our business site is masternetworks.com, or you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all the social media channels. You'll find me there.
Awesome. So check out the links and visit Chaz. He's phenomenal. Engage with him. Join Master Networks if you're in one of the areas. 20 states already and growing. So check him out. Thank you so much for being here, Chaz.
Thanks, Emily.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of Share the Love. Make sure to give us a thumbs up, share, and subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, and Google Play to get the latest content.